All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Hello.
Welcome to the Broward Center Broadway Chat Series. My name is Tammy Holder, and I'm the artist in residence at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. And with me tonight, I have...
Hello, everyone. My name's Tim Maines. I'm the Education Programs Manager at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. I'm so excited to be back here with you, Tammy.
Yay! We have had a great week, and we are so excited to bring you our third episode of our Broadway Chat Series. Tonight, we are broadcasting from our Broward Center education page, as well as the Broward Center, the main Broward Center page. So, hello to everybody. We're glad you're here. We had a great chat last week with Andre Cerullo, who was the music director for the LA production of Hamilton. So thank you to everybody who tuned in for that. But tonight, Tim, we got some great guests tonight. What do we have?
We do. I am so excited. Tonight, we are joined by 3 original Broadway cast members from the 2015 Tony-winning Best Musical, Fun Home. Did you see that show, Tammy, when I was in New York?
I saw that show 3 times. I was
incredible,
a huge
right?
fan. So when you told me our guests were the original cast from Fun Home, I saw them, I love them, and I'm so excited that they're here tonight. So when we bring your guests on, if you want to ask them questions, you can type them into the chats, and if we can get your question tonight, we will do our very best. So, Tim, without further ado, let's have our fabulous guest.
And as we welcome them, I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one of them. So we are very excited to welcome the 3 talented performers who portrayed the roles of the Bechtel siblings in the show. We have, joining us tonight, Oscar Williams, who portrayed the role of Christian in the show. I'm super excited to have Oscar joining us. Hey, Oscar.
Hey, Tim.
Oscar and I have actually known each other for many years. I've known him since 8 or 9 years old, probably, Oscar.
It's been a lot of years.
A lot of years. We did theater camps and shows back in Vermont, where we're both from.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We also have Cindy Lucas, who portrayed the role of Small Allison in the show, performance which earned her a Tony Award nomination. So thank you, Cindy, for joining us.
Thank you
and we have also joining us Zell Steele, who portrayed the role, the youngest Bechtel sibling in the show. So funny. You were such a scene stealer. And you also just wrapped up another very popular Broadway show that we are going to let you talk about a little bit later.
Great.
So we are super excited to have all of you. 3 incredible guests. Tammy, this is going to be fun.
I know. Let's go ahead and get started. So, Tim, what should we talk about first?
Well, as a reminder, audience, you can be putting your questions in now. We'll get to them soon, but we'd love to start the conversation by just having you all think back. It's been about 5 years now since your time in Fun Home. As you reflect back on that time, what really sticks with you about that experience? What are the really big kind of takeaways or memories that you have? So we're going to have each of you talk to us about that. And I'd love to start right up the top with Oscar.
The thing that stuck with me definitely was our warm-ups, because every day we had our half-hour call, and we would come in an hour early and meet in the lobby with our guardian wrangler, Vanessa, who was wonderful and amazing. And we would always have these little powwows with our music director, and we would warm up, we would sing through our songs, and then we would just go to our dressing rooms and get ready for the show. I don't know, something about that was like really fun, and that we got to have that.
Awesome. What about you, Zell?
I loved the connections that I made with everyone, all the friendships, everything that I got to experience during the show. It was a dream come true. It was my first Broadway show, and I just fell in love instantly with the entire story, everything. I loved being friends with these guys, Everyone was so nice backstage, and everyone was just so caring and thoughtful. And our guardian, Vanessa, was just always there, and she was so nice and funny. I loved her so much.
Awesome. And what about you, Sydney?
We love Vanessa. I think what stuck with me was definitely the fans and the people that the show impacted, and all of the stories, and going to the autograph line, and having people up front just tell you how much the show means to them, whether it be about their child or them personally or a friend. so the show just impacted so many lives, and those stories are really what stuck with me. And they're, to be honest, they're the reason why I do what I do.
Oh. Was it each of your first Broadway shows?
Yes.
Awesome. So now it's been 5 years. I'm sure our viewers, your fans, want to know what have you been up to in the last 5 years? I know you've each been very busy, but if you want to share kind of one or two of your most favorite things that you've done since Fun Home closed. And why don't we start with Zell this time?
Okay, so my favorite things that I have done so far would probably be number one, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I love that so much. It's very near and dear to my heart. And also John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch. It was very fun to work with John Mulaney himself and the entire Sack Lunch Bunch. It was amazing.
That's
really,
on Netflix, right?
Yes, it is on Netflix.
Very cool.
So very cool. So Zell, we have someone at the Broward Center whose son was also in Harry Potter. Do you know Alex?
Yes, I do. I love Alex. He's amazing.
Yes. Did you get to do? Did you do shows with him? Was he on stage with you?
Yes, he actually was. He played Dudley some of the times, and so we were in the same scene. It was really fun to be able to play
that's
with
so
him.
neat that you guys were together. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Sydney, what have you been up to?
I did this really cool AMC show called The Sun. It was starring Pierce Brosnan. I got to play his granddaughter. And that was a really meaningful experience to me. We did that for 2 seasons, and we shot in Texas. I got to learn how to ride a horse. Woo-hoo. And woohoo! And I learned a lot from it. It was the show is about the birth of Texas. It's on Hulu. Would highly recommend everyone go check it out. Every cast member and crew member and creative team member kind of all acted as my mentors, and we became a family really quickly. And that's kind of one of my favorite things about this business is you create families just like you two.
And what about you, Oscar?
I haven't been doing too much, but I did. Well, obviously, I did Secret Garden that was during Fun Home, but I did Secret Garden with Sydney, and that was a lot of fun. And recently, I did the reading of Parade, that musical by Jason Robert Brown.
Oh wow!
I did a reading workshop of that with Michael Arden. It was starring Ben Platt and Michaela Diamond. Oh. And that was really a great experience. The entire cast was so nice, and they were all so super talented. And I've also been doing theater up here, and also just school. Yeah,
there's some theater happening up in Vermont.
Yeah, there is some good theater happening up here.
Awesome. So you said that you were in Secret Garden with Sydney. So you guys have worked together post Fun Home, or you said it was kind of at the same time, but doing other things together. So what is it like? And you clearly are still friends, all three of you. Can you talk to us a little bit about kind of the bond, what it's like being a young performer on Broadway and working with other young performers?
Pretty surreal, to be honest. I think all of us that obviously it was one of our dreams to be on Broadway, and being a young member of the cast member, you do rely a lot on your other young cast members, because sometimes when you're younger, you can while all of the adults acted as mentors and teachers to us, the adults would all like kind of have their group, and then we would whatever, but it was just really nice to have other kids to empathize with about school and just age related whatever, and just be silly with, and we formed a really close bond, and these two people right here are some of the most important people in my life.
Yeah, we all created friendships that we know are going to last for long times, and we spent a lot of time together as a trio, us and Gabby, who was understudy, and Swing. It was all four of us spent so much time together, so we got to create a friendship that it's shared experience brings people together, and doing a show with someone, whether it's a local show, or even a show on Broadway, that shared experience brings people together in a way that is insurmountable.
And I'm sure that you guys, in that shared experience, there's probably a lot of backstage stories that you have, things that maybe rituals that you would do, or things that went wrong. Do you have any funny stories or insider stories that you can share with our viewers tonight?
I have one, actually.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So there was this happened actually once. It was like really crazy, and so it was right after the Tony Awards. The trap, they didn't work, and so we were like called in like really early, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that right? Yeah, we were called in to like restage the entire thing, and I thought it was very interesting to see what Fun Home would be like without Trap. And I thought that was really, really cool. And especially right after the Tony Awards, after all of that happened. And all of a sudden, just the show breaks down. I thought it was really funny, and I thought it was interesting to experience. And
You had how many traps did you guys have? Were there like 4?
Like 7 or 8.
Oh, 7. Okay.
Oh, does everyone know what a trap is?
Yeah. Explain to us, Sydney, what that is.
So it's okay. So you have the stage level, and then underneath the stage, you have a sort of basement. What trap doors are, not all theaters have trap doors. What trap doors are is they're kind of little elevators within the stage that go up to the stage level and then down to the basement to carry props or even people up and down. So for like what Zell is talking about for this specific, it was a crazy story. But for this specific situation, the middle trap, which carries a lot of props and people up and down after the Tony Awards, they brought us in early, and I personally thought they were just gonna congratulate us on, we won Best Musical, right? So we go in early. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a celebration. They're like, so we have to restage the show in like a couple hours. And we did, and the audience really didn't even know. Maybe. I hope so.
I didn't realize a thing.
Any other backstage stories that you can share with us?
We have a lot.
There's so much. For me, I know we had to, when we were doing our number, Come to the Fun Home, I had to jump up a lot. And my shoes, at some point, started to lose their traction. So I was like sliding all over the stage. And there's one performance where I have like a ledge that's like, I'm trying to get this weird thing, like this big that I have to get my foot onto. And anyway, my foot just kind of slipped and my face planted into the coffin.
Oh no.
It was painful at the time, but it's really funny looking back on it, because I'm sure it must have looked really silly. But after that, I went to the people who do our costumes. I go, could we maybe add a little thing onto the to make it stick? And they said, yeah, we can do that.
Oh, good.
That's smart.
So, as you all are talking about slipping into the coffin, how about give us a little summary of what the show is about? Because maybe some of our listeners are like, they did what? So who wants to give us just a little synopsis of what Fun Home was all about?
Yeah, we hung out in coffins. No, okay, so here's what the show is about. So there is a graphic novel written by Alison Bechtel, who is a real person, and basically the byline of the show, I like this specific byline because it's something that's said in the beginning of the show. So in the beginning of the show, you basically know exactly what's going to happen, and yet it's so heart-wrenching and surprising. So this is what older Allison says. She says, my father and I both grew up in the same small Pennsylvania town, and he was gay, and I was gay, and my father killed himself, and I became a lesbian cartoonist. That's pretty much what the show is about. Yeah, and there are 3. There's Oscar's character, who is one of Allison's brothers. There's Zell's character, who's one of Allison's brothers. There are 3 different Allisons: adult Allison, medium Allison, small Allison. There is Bruce, the father. There is Helen, the mother. So sorry. And then there is Joan, and then there is another person, Joel Perez, who played a lot of different characters, and he played 4 different characters. Yeah. Insane, but it was a 9-person cast, and it's basically about this girl Alison Bechdel's life, pretty much her entire life, about being gay and her father being gay and her father committing suicide. And she grew up in a funeral home, so that's why it's called Fun Home. No. That's the kind of nickname that they had for it, the Fun Home.
That's right.
Vermont now.
She did what?
Alison Bechdel lives in Vermont now. She was.
Oh, does she really? Oh, that's cool. Do you ever see her?
I have seen her. Not often, but there's like at some press events I've seen her, and we also met during Fun Home's run.
Very cool. So, Sydney, I have a question. What was it like playing a character where there were the same character at different stages of their life? What did you do? How did you connect to the other actresses who played Allison?
Oh, for sure. I think, to be honest, as we bonded as our own, like Sydney, Emily, and Beth, just as we all bonded as actors and, family, and we became family, I found it a lot easier for us to bond as Allison. And also something really cool was there were specific moments that were actually staged by all of the Allisons as well as the director. For example, in the beginning of the show, adult Allison and me, Beth Malone, incredible, just such a teacher, and it was a masterclass being alongside her. In the very beginning of the show, Sam Gold, the director, and incredible director, and Beth and we all staged together this little moment where Beth and I walk in complete in sync. We put our hands in our pockets, completely in sync. We pause, completely in sync. We lean on one leg, completely in sync. And we staged a lot of those little moments where we would be together and do movements completely in sync. And I think that's so cool. And I think probably it really helps the audience to connect all of us.
That's so cool. Very neat. Well, good.
So, Tammy, I think we actually have some questions over here from some viewers. I see one here. I can grab it. There we go. So Richard asks, huge fan of Lisa Cron. How much input did you guys have, if any, into shaping the script?
Lisa Cron? Oh, okay. Does anyone want to take this? I can take it.
I don't know.
I'll take it. It's fine.
Okay.
So Lisa Cron and Janine Tesori. It's so crazy being in the room while personally I got the opportunity to be in the show from the lab to the off-Broadway to the Broadway. So I kind of saw it turn from one show into a completely different show. And to be honest, I didn't, if I was involved, like maybe there was like one line where like, hey, can you like change this one word? I don't even know. It probably means like, oh, I'm helping. I don't know. But being in the room with them where they would just create like a whole page of dialogue, or they would just create an entire song. They would write it and then they would be like, yeah, do we like it? Now let's scrap it. Let's create a whole entire new thing. Mm-hmm. So I really was just standing back and watching as these masters of the craft were doing their thing. And it was really beautiful to watch. It was also crazy. I was like, oh, that's a beautiful song. How could you put it right on it? How you throw it away? But they were like so on it. They would write a song, throw it away, and then write another one in literally 3 seconds.
You were 9 to 11 years old.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I started when I had just turned 9, and I ended when I was 12. And I think I could be wrong, but I think that I may have been the first small Allison to sing Ring of Keys.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe that, but I didn't. I was young, but it was really, really nice being in the room and along with Sam Gold, just as they made a masterpiece. I just tried to sit back and absorb everything.
That's amazing.
the fact that you were the first one to sing that song is a little piece of trivia, maybe. I know, Zell, you have a little fun home trivia, right? About you and your performance, number of performances.
Oh, yes, I do. I actually performed, I only missed one day in the entire run of Fun Home. And because I did the entire 18-month run. And sadly, it was a 2-show day, so I missed 2 shows. So I did 606 out of the 608 shows. And I don't know. Yeah, I remember. It was the day. I don't know why I remember this, but it's so vivid because Jim Stanek and we both, we were the last 2 people to ever like call out for a day or like be sick and not like be there for the show. And he called out. And I think like a few days or like a week later, I called out. But it was crazy. And it was like kind of a race, and it was honestly really funny. And so he called me Iron Man, and I'll never forget that. I felt really, it was just so nice because, you know, I was very little and I was very competitive. And so to like not win, but like, yeah.
That's so neat. So that's very cool. What was it like when the adult characters changed? Because I know the cast changed during the run of the show. And so these were your parents a lot of the time, or different versions of you, Sydney. So if you guys could speak to what it was like adjusting to when the cast would change.
Yeah, I can touch on this. We had a lot of understudy rehearsals, and because we had one understudy playing all 3 of us, we had to rotate. So all 3 of us would do these understudy rehearsals. So we got to work with all of them many times before Michael called out or Judy called out. So we also got to build that relationship with them, which was really it's kind of, people might think it's like hard to like build that relationship with more than one person when it's specific to the show. And while it is different, everyone brings their own different like little quirks to the character. Like Jim Stanek, who's the understudy for Michael, his Bruce, it wasn't Michael's, but it was just different in his own way, and it was very unique. And the show was always a little bit different every night because it's live. That's just how it works. But we got to form those relationships with them as well, and it was very touching.
Shout out to Gabby Pizzolo, by the way, who understudied literally all 3 of us.
Wow,
That's so wild. How often
And all the other understudies, they're incredible.
So she didn't go on for Zell. So who did she go on for the most?
I thought she did. She did go on for
Yeah, she did.
Go for you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I called out on the last scene that I was in. I was like, I can't do this. I like literally was about to throw up. And so I left. And I was like, you're going on. And she was like, okay. Yeah.
Where's Elle?
I don't know if that ever went on for me. Did she?
I don't think she did. I don't remember that.
Because Presley, I think, was the only one who did my track.
Yeah, and I feel so bad because when I threw the lemon pledge down, I accidentally hit her in the head one time. I feel
Nice going, Zell. Oh no, Presley.
I feel so bad.
Oh wow.
At some point, they hired another understudy because they realized, what if 2 of us got sick?
All right.
We didn't have enough people to do it, so they eventually hired. When Sydney left, Gabby took over as her, and they hired Alessandra Baldacchino,
yeah.
Baldacchino and Presley Ryan, and they were the 2 understudies for all 3 parts.
Very cool.
A little safer.
So what's it like? What are you guys planning for? You were part of this huge Tony Award-winning Broadway show, so which is a lot of performers. That's like their ultimate dream. So you guys have gotten to experience something pretty cool. So I'm just wondering, what are your goals? What's next? Sydney, let's start with you.
What are my goals? I want to experience a lot of more and a lot of different aspects of the acting business. For sure, I'm going to come back to Broadway. And for sure, I want to continue on with TV as well and movies. And to be honest, I also want to try and write something, because that's something that's like a passion of mine, and maybe direct something. I just want to do as much as I possibly can because I'm really, really passionate about the business. And yeah, so I've been writing some. I've been writing some, stuff. I even write songs, to be honest. Just every part of the business I kind of fell in love with from a very young age. So I just want to experience as much as possible.
Very cool. How about you, Oscar?
I definitely want to keep performing in New York. I'm gonna go to college in New York. At least is the plan right now. And I just, while I'm there, I want to keep auditioning and working, because especially for guys, you kind of hit for boy kid actors, you hit a kind of a rut in your career when your voice changes, because adults can play that and they don't have to pay for school. So there really wasn't much for me to do after Fun Home. All I could do was continue my training and go to school. But now that I'm kind of moving past that, I'm really excited to get back out auditioning and doing more workshops and hopefully more Broadway shows, and just keep working is what I want.
All right. Great. How about you, Zell? So you finished Harry Potter. Now tell us when Harry Potter, your story that you were telling us earlier about when the end of your contract to Harry Potter fell.
Oh, yeah. So all of Broadway shut down on Thursday, March 12th. And the final show was March 12th, yeah. And the final show was supposed to be on March 15th. Yeah, March 15th.
Right.
And so that was when my contract ended, March 15th. So I didn't really get an official final show. But like my last show was on Wednesday, that basically was. And it was kind of sad because I was like really I was really looking forward to it. I didn't really want to leave that fast. And then I didn't want to leave that fast because I like grew so close to the show. Mm-hmm. And then after this whole thing happened and the world shut down, I was like, it just like came to me, I'm not going to be going back there after this. Like my contract's already up. And so it was really sad, but I do have things to look forward to, which I'm very happy about. So yeah.
All right, great.
So Tammy, we have another question from the audience here. So Henry asks, how did it feel to have been so young and yet produced a huge impact on the LGBT community, changing Broadway forever? Any of you have some thoughts about that?
Hey, can I? Okay. Hi, Henry. It was extremely, very, very, very impactful. And something that I said earlier on was that one of my favorite moments of the show was all of the fan encounters. And like we would have situations where people would come out to us before anyone else, or we would even have parents come kind of on behalf of their children who might be in the LGBTQIA+ community, and our show maybe helps them come to terms with their child's sexuality or identity. And I think maybe when I was I think as I kind of grew up in the show, I felt more and more the impact. So I think all of us, when we came to the show, we were very young, and maybe we didn't fully grasp that impact in the beginning. But I think, with every encounter, we're like, oh my gosh, this show is impactful. And even to this day, I'll get like DMs from people, and the show is like continuing to impact. And so is the graphic novel that Alison Bechtel wrote. And it truly, I think it's why I do what I do. Is my main goal is to try and impact the world and leave with it, hopefully at least a little bit better than when we first came.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So I think we have time for one more question, and then I gotta say goodbye. You guys, this is fun. So, Sarah, for a lot of famous people that attended your show, was there one person that stands out to each of you that you met after the show, and why?
It's a fun question.
Hi, Sarah. And Riley and Jay. Okay.
I also have one.
Go ahead. Do you have one?
I think I do, yeah.
Me?
Okay.
Basically, well, when John Bechtel came to the show, it was really like exciting for me.
Okay.
Yeah, because the entire Bechtel family, but yeah, most of the Bechtel siblings all came and sorted out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got to meet the person you were playing.
Yeah, it was
That's
really,
cool.
It was really exciting, and like to see him in real life, I was like, oh my god. And I think, yeah, he gave me one of his guitar picks because he actually plays guitar, and so it was so cool when I got that, and I still have it to this day because it's like a prized possession. So yeah, I have it in my memory box.
I love it.
It was always so special when the Bechtel siblings came to the show. It truly was, like, to be like, oh my god, like, these are the people that I'm playing, and
It's surreal.
it's surreal, but it's also like, it's humbling. You're like, you're right, this is a real show. You have to do the story justice. So yeah, good, yeah, definitely, Zell. Those people. There were a lot of really cool people that came to the show. We had like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey and Seth Meyers. We had like all these cool comedians. We had Danny DeVito. We had Hugh Jackman came to the show. Hugh Jackman actually came to the show that I almost fell into a trap. Alan Rickman. Oh my gosh. We fangirled so hard over Alan Rickman. He was the absolute nicest guy in the world.
One of my favorites, or one that stood out to me and is still very vivid, is when Anna Kendrick came to see the show, and she was talking about like child labor laws and like how, like, are you guys really working this much? That's crazy. Said, like, I respect that, guys. It's crazy.
I was sick when she came to the show. I was so upset because I'm literally the hugest fan of her. I still am, Anna.
I love it. All right. All right.
What was that, Oscar?
Oh, no, I was
Okay.
Well, guys, we are out of time. Thank you all so much. That half hour flew by.
Good.
We're so thankful and grateful that you took your time and came and joined us here in Florida. To all our folks that were out here following us on Facebook. So thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck to all of you on all your future projects. I'm so excited to see where you all end up next. I love it.
Thank you all
so much.
Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Big round of applause. Show us some love over in the comments. Goodbye. I love the swag. Bye, guys. Yay. All right. Tim, they were
That was
awesome.
fun.
It was fun chat.
Incredible
It was fun
performers.
home.
Yeah.
All right. So, there we go. All right, so that wraps up another episode of the Broward Center Broadway Chat Series. I want to thank everybody for coming by, everybody for supporting us, and we're really excited. We've got some really exciting asks out for future Broadway stars, so we look forward to bringing you a fun chat in our next episode. So, anything to wrap it up, Tim?
Well, just tune in next week. Same time, same place. We'll have a really exciting guest, and we'll love to have you join us.
All right. Thank you. My name's Tammy.
And I'm Tim.
And make sure you join us next week, 7 o'clock on Wednesday for
The Broward Center Broadway Chat Series.
Good night, everybody.